All right, before we get started, I will share my screen. We're going to check out the website really quick. Whenever you have a question about what upcoming trainings we have, we typically will have an email reminder, email blast go out. But it is nice to know where to go to find this information. So everyone should be able to see the eSERS website. You can always go to www.ohsers.org. And once you come here, there is an employer tab up top. On the left-hand side of the employers page, if you go down to employer education, there are videos, is our video center, where you can see training topics, recorded webinars we have throughout the year, then also tutorials on how to do different tasks in eSERS. So if you don't feel like calling in for help, you can also check out the tutorials down here. So if you're having issues with scheduling a payment remittance, there's payment remittance, you can watch the video. And then also on the left-hand side, back on the employer page, if you go to training opportunities, it will provide any classes we have upcoming for you. So the next class that we have coming up will be the payment remittance, August 8th. All right. All right, let's get started. Give me 1 second here. All right, Carlisa, are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. All right, so today we will be reviewing the employer statement in a little bit finer detail. We will go over how to download and print from eSERS the employer statement and the surcharge, how to read employer statement, review the surcharge and how to schedule payment, and then check out the view from eSERS. For the employer statement, at the end of each fiscal year, eSERS issues out an annual employer statement. It includes contribution and payment detail for the year. The statement can be accessed in eSERS. With the employer statement, if you kind of think of your credit card bill, you know how each month you get a credit card statement and gives you a breakdown of what you put on there and what you're paying. So it gives you a breakdown of your employee and employer liabilities that you have sent into eSERS, and it matches up with the payment that you have scheduled. If you're in eSERS and you want to download the employer statement, on the left-hand side under financial information, you'll see that there's a link for employer statement. Then on the next page up top, you'll see your fiscal years being provided, and you'll click on 2024. Some employers might receive a pop-up blocker will appear, and then you have to unblock it, but typically it will allow you to download. All right, so once you open up your employer statement, before I go further, also in your email reminder at the bottom, it should have a resource link, and it should have the employer statement how-to there, and then the surcharge fact sheet. So that should be in the email reminder that was sent out. If you click on the link, the employer statement will become available for you. The how-to for it, just explaining what the employer statement is, and then the surcharge fact sheet should be available also. All right, once you have your employer statement out in front of you, you'll see that in the top section, you'll have the employee activity side. And then you have your employer activity side that will be on the right-hand side. So that's just going over your liabilities that were submitted to eSERS, and then the payments that were applied also. So if you look on the left-hand side, you'll see all your posted contributions. You'll see the payroll periods there. And then you also see the payments that were applied to those contribution reports. If you go to your employer side, you'll see the liability amount that was associated with that report. If you are a direct pay, so that means you pay censors in the payment, you'll see that you will see the payments applied to your liabilities for your employer side. And if you're foundation, you'll see your foundation payments applied here. All right, if you look at the number 3 here, this is the net amount at the top of your statement for the beginning balance from the previous fiscal year. Then if you look at section 4, if you're a foundation participating district, during the month of August and September, we typically apply your foundation payment to your surcharge if you have selected for your surcharge to be paid through foundation. To figure out if you have selected your surcharge to be paid by foundation, there is an application in eSERS on the left-hand side that says Foundation Deduction Notice. If you open it and open for the 2025 fiscal year, in your statement, you will have a line that says Surcharge Estimate. If that is on your letter, that means eSERS will pay that and we'll either pay it August or September, or it might be broken down between 2 months. All right, so in section 5 here, if you go to prior fiscal year activity, this right here will show you payments made per the prior fiscal year. So this is the member side. So the member side was paid in real time, so that's why 0. And then if you look at the employer side, you'll see that this amount here, the payment was applied to that previous charge from the previous year. So those two amounts will match because that was actually paid. Then section 6 is just a breakdown of different types of payments that you could have paid throughout the year. So if you look at it, if we had any refunds that we issued out, if there was any credit memos, you'll see that also. All right, now we're moving on the second page of the employer statement. And this right here, section 7 is just a continuation of the first page of different various items that you could have paid for that we accept additional payments for. So if you are a district that allows a payroll, you pay your service purchase for your employee, you will have a purchase service activity here. If not, you will have zeros. Or if you are a college and university and you have ARP participating individuals, you'll see some activity down on the ARP line for the colleges and universities, if anyone's there. All right, so if you move down to section 8, this right here is just the ending balances. So I'll give you a quick review over the hosted contributions here, the payments that was applied here, and then I'll show if there was anything left over. When it comes to employer statements, if your district is receiving a refund, and you'll see, we'll get to step 10, and step 10 will either tell you if you owe eSERS money or if you're going to receive a refund. If you have any money pending here that you owe to eSERS, it could be a penny. If there's amount shown in step 9, eSERS will not release your refund until that amount is paid. So just keep an eye on that. Typically, if you have an amount that's due on the employee activity side here, you will be in penalty status and you'll be aware of it. So just a little tip there. Then if you go on the employer side, you'll see your employer liabilities here. If you had any direct payments, it would be here. And then you'll see your foundation payments here. And then if your foundation didn't cover any remaining employer balances, from here, you'll see that you actually have an amount due to eSERS here at the end of the fiscal year. All right, so step 10, I kind of jumped the gun there, but we're here now. Any amount due to eSERS on the statement will be in step 10. If there was amount due to district, it will actually say amount due to district here, and it will be in parentheses for you. But in this case, this statement right here, there's amount due to eSERS, and there's the amount. Any amount due to eSERS will have to be paid by August 27th. I do believe that's the date we have this year, but typically eSERS will always let you know when the due date is. Our special notice went out Monday, and then the special notice email blast, it does have the due date for your surcharge in your employer statement. There are 2 different things going on there. There are apple and oranges. They're 2 separate bills that you could possibly owe to eSERS, and they both have the same due date. If you are a district that is receiving a refund, kind of cool this year, we have 2 ways you can receive a refund. One, you can actually receive electronic refund if you like. In order to receive your refund via electronic, you will actually have to go into eSERS and go to bank account maintenance application. And you have to select one account to make it your primary refund account. And once you open up that bank account, you can actually make adjustments to your bank account there. You'll see a box that you can check mark for refund, and eSERS will actually send a refund back to your bank. If not, you will receive a mailed check. The checks will be issued within the 30 days, any refund. So if you have any questions about how to add the refund option to your bank account maintenance, please give us a call. Also, if your refund is $25 or less, eSERS will actually add it to payment remittance as a credit that you can use on future liabilities. If you do not want that as a credit, you will have to send an email to employer services at ohsers.org to ask for a refund for that. But typically $25 or less will be in your in eSERS under payment remittance as a credit to apply to any of your future liabilities. Also, please note, foundation participating districts cannot pay their statement balances with foundation funds. So that will actually be a direct payment to eSERS. Okay, so we went over that. Any amount due to eSERS is due by due date of August 27th. And then any amount that eSERS owed to you guys, that will be issued out to you guys within 30 days. Also, that will be out the door by August 27th also. All right, we went over that too. All right, we also reviewed over if there is an amount owed in the employee activity section. This must be paid first before eSERS issues out any refunds if you are issued a refund. Yeah. And also just to reiterate, all districts, including foundation participating districts, pay their employer statement directly. Shortly, we will go into eSERS and I'll show you how to find your liabilities for your employer statement that relates to the balance there. If you are a foundation participating district and you realize, whoo, we are owing a lot of money to eSERS, or whoo, we are getting a large refund from eSERS, we will suggest that for 2025, you go back in and do another estimate over your salaries. Typically, I recommend people to kind of check it out in September. I think most of the time by September, all your contracts will be signed. And so you can do another estimate and see if you can get a little bit closer so you can pay less money to eSERS, or you'll reduce your refund you're receiving from eSERS. All right. Any questions about the employer statement? Going once, going twice. All right. If you have any questions, I forgot to mention that Carlisa Holman will be in the chat today. She'll be more than happy to answer it. If there's anything that she thinks, hey, everyone out here will like to know, she'll chime in also. All right, so now we're getting to surcharge. So this is part 2 that is a possible charge that you could owe to eSERS. So like I was saying, employer statement is totally different from surcharge. Employer statement is your employer liabilities that you could possibly owe on. If you're a direct pay district, typically you probably won't owe anything on the employer statement. But with the surcharge, I'm pretty sure almost everyone will owe something for the surcharge. The surcharge is an additional employer charge used exclusively to fund the healthcare. It's calculated at 14% of the difference between the employee's annual compensation amount and a minimum compensation amount. So this year, the minimum compensation has changed for the 2024 fiscal year. It is $30,000. I believe the previous year it was at 25, but this year the calculation is based on 30,000. Surcharge is limited to 2% of each district's total qualified eSERS payroll, and then is subject to statewide limit of 1.5% of the total qualified payroll for all eSERS employers. Surcharge applies to all eSERS members reported during the fiscal year on the contribution report, except of the following people. So in eSERS, if you log in and you go under, I believe it's under financial information on the left-hand side, you will see that there's a surcharge link. If you click it, it will actually, for 2024 fiscal year will have a list of all your surcharge individuals there. If you go down the bottom, it'll list all your people. There is an export button that you can actually hit. It'll export everyone into a spreadsheet for you so you can evaluate it. So people that should not be on your report are members who retired, refund their account, or receive a disability benefit effective before July 1. Members who died before July 1, and then reemployed retirees of the Ohio public system. So reemployed retirees should not be on your list. If you find some individuals that is on your list you think should not be there, you can always send an email to Employer Services and we will review that further. Typically, if it's just one person really would not change your due amount to SERS, but we'd be more than happy to check it out just to make sure everything is correct. All right. So the surcharge payment is due within 30 days from the notification that the final surcharge amount has been calculated. So Monday, the final surcharge was calculated. It was available for everyone. So this will be due by August 27th. And then to pay the payment for surcharge, you will have to go under payment remittance, click new payment remittance, and under your unpaid liabilities, there will actually be a surcharge line for you to check mark and pay. So you'll pay just like your other regular liabilities, you just check mark the surcharge and then continue on. Please note as you're working, if your surcharge is larger than what you normally pay for your liabilities, let's say, hey, typically your reports are 25,000 and your surcharge is 50, SERS does have a EFT limit there. So if you try to pay 50,000, the system will say, whoop, sorry, you have reached your limit. All you will have to do is go into your bank account maintenance and click on the account that you normally schedule payments out of. And you just have to change your EFT draw limit to pay the surcharge. So if your surcharge was 50,000, you might want to change your limit to 51,000. Then go back into payment remit, hit save. So it'll keep the 51,000 surcharge. Go back under payment remittance, schedule your payment for your surcharge. And then once the payment is scheduled, you can actually go back to your bank account maintenance and change your draw limit back to 25,000. So that's more on the SERS side, try to kind of like more of a check and balance to make sure you're not overpaying your liabilities. Sometimes it happens, but we try our best to try to help you out where we can. So pay your surcharges under payment remittance. If your district participates in a foundation program and has a surcharge collected from foundation payments, SERS automatically deducts this from your September foundation payment. So we will take care of that if that's on your foundation deduction notice letter. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna stop sharing. Carlisa, was there any questions in the chat that we need to go over before I go into eSERS?
A chat just came through actually. Can you go over how we add or maybe take away days that we notice on the surcharge report for someone? Maybe if they need a day or two, 1 or 2 days to match number of days on the payroll side.
Okay, you want to take that one? So you would do an adjustment file for your days and hours. So the cool thing is we actually have a new how-to out there about how to adjust days and hours. So I'll show you that real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me bring this up. Sure. All right. Lisa, are you able to see my eSERS?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Real quick, if you call into our 800 number, someone will be more than happy to help you with your days and hours. But if you're like me, you want to be independent and try to do it yourself. Everyone should see our main website. On the left-hand side under the employers tab, if you go to how to, there is a how-to about how to adjust days and hours. So you will just do an adjustment file, use a current pay date, and then you will create a contribution record for that particular person. And you'll either add the days that you owe the person, or if you over-reported days, you can actually remove that also. But there's a how to explain how to do that. All right, so let's get started. So one, if you are interested, since we were talking about surcharge, Once you get signed into eSERS, this is the home page here. If you go on the left-hand side, under financial information, if you click surcharge at the bottom of that category, you'll see a list of all your employees here. And then you can hit export to Excel. And since this is a test environment, it won't work out very well, so I'm not going to press it. But all your employees for the 2024 year, or you can actually go up top and do surcharge for the year. You can pick the surcharge year you want to do, and then you can export those individuals out. But yeah, you can export the list out. You can double check information. If you want to view your surcharge invoice, that's also under this area also. So that's surcharge. So that's step one. So now we're going to bounce back to the employer statement. So your employer statement charge is actually going to be under payment remittance. If you click new payment remittance, where you're looking for to pay your employer statement is under unpaid liabilities. So for the foundation participating districts, any liabilities that you have showing, if you go to pay date, it will be any liabilities with pay dates before 6/30. So if you use this, for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 liabilities from the prior fiscal year that I have to pay. How do I know that? Because these pay dates are before June 30. So anything before June 30, I will select. And if you add up the remaining balance line, I'll show you guys my little cheat way I select all the liabilities I need to pay. I'll hit add select to pay, and those liabilities will drop to the bottom. And then here is your remaining balance here. And I think it's a little bit easier if you check mark them and then add them, because at the bottom, it would just give you that one column there for the remaining balance. You can add it up, and that amount should add up to your employer statement. If you notice, hey, the two amounts are not adding up, please go back under payment remittance and make sure you do not have any available credit memos. In this case, I do not have any because I'm in a training environment. But if you have any pending credits for the 2024 year, like June 30 and before, those credits are probably credits you need to add to your balance before you actually pay it. If you have credits up top, if you're not sure if you need to use them on your 2024 liabilities, please give us a call. We'll walk through, look through it with you, and then we'll actually help you apply those credit memos if you have any to apply. Let's say, hey, I do not have any credit memos. I found all the liabilities I need. So I'll just go ahead and hit add select to pay, which I did. That's why my liabilities are under liabilities to pay. Now I will just go ahead and type in that amount. Oops. Too bad I put the decimal in the wrong place. All right, and then we can go up top and hit next. Also, if you have a surcharge balance, and this, I'm in a training environment, so sorry, I do not have a surcharge line. If you did have surcharge, it will be under unpaid liabilities, and it will be a line that actually says surcharge, and it'll have your surcharge amount here. But in this case, I don't have it available, so we're gonna act like one of these down here is a surcharge balance. So I picked it up. I'm gonna go next. And then I'm gonna do ACH, hit new account. Pick this one. And so the system already provided my total liability amount selected. So I'm just gonna type this in. And then I'm gonna have it take it out tomorrow. Then I'm gonna hit next. All right, so here we go. I have all my liabilities here. So on the next page, it will give you a review of all the liabilities you're going to pay. They're your ACH bank account information there, and then I'm going to hit finish and submit. All right, so I do believe my EFT limit is not that amount there, so I need to be 100,000. So typically you will get the EFT draw limit is not enough. So this right here, we're gonna ignore that, but you should get the EFT. If you get a notice that, hey, your EFT draw limit is not enough, you can go to bank account maintenance on the left-hand side under financial information. Oh, I don't have a bank account here. That's why it didn't work. But if you had a bank account, you'll be able to select that checking account. You can click change your EFT draw limit here. And then you can hit save, and then you'll be able to go back to schedule your payments. The cool thing also with eSERS now, we have a little saved floppy disk. So if you're working through your payment remittance, like, hey, I don't want to do it all over, I just want to go back to where it was, you can hit payment remittance. Oh, there's not gonna go. And it will take you back to the page you were on so you can finish your transaction. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Typically, if we was not in a test environment, it would went ahead and done that for us, but I'm not gonna waste all your time trying to put in bank account information. But any questions, or is there anything that anyone would like to see? Carlisa, was it?
Michelle, does this district that you're in, can you pull up the foundation deduction letter? Does it have a foundation deduction letter, or at least show where they find that, please?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I forgot about that. So under financial information, you can click on foundation deduction notice, and then there's your 2024 fiscal year. You can click on it. Since I'm in a test environment, I do not believe it's going to pop up for me. It's not. But for you, it will actually pop up as a pop-up that you click on download, and it will become available for you. If you have any issues, you can call in. We'll be more than happy to walk you through, but it will be on your foundation deduction notice. Click on 2024. Also, for the foundation participating districts, if you want to know what your salary estimate is for the 2025 fiscal year, you can click on salary estimate. And then you can see what you have for, we'll say 2025, but you can see what your 2025 year is. If this amount is not going to be enough for 2025, you can send employer services an email requesting the new salary estimate amount. So we actually need you to provide the actual number, what you want your new salary to be for 2025 year. And then we'll take it from there and contact Ohio Department of Education and Workforce to increase that amount. All right, Carlisa, any other questions, or is there something else I need to show?
No, but Michelle, they should be able to see their most recent salary estimate in that window. You're just not seeing it because we didn't put the data in the training environment, but they will see it. And then if there's any change, a lot of districts though, we also say, in the mid fiscal year, take a look and make sure you're within the range that you want to be. If you need to increase it or decrease it, it normally takes a month or two. So we ask that you don't try to change your foundation deduction payment monthly, but it is worth looking at mid-year just to see how you're running, high, low, and if you choose to change, that would be an email to your employer service mailbox stating what you want to change to.
Correct. And then since I got you guys here, I forgot, if you are a district who would like to select receiving an electronic refund, you will go back under oh my God, financial information and click bank account maintenance. Here, since I apologize, I don't have a bank account here, but if you had a bank account here, you will click on the bank ID. And then you will actually have your bank account information here. And then there is the refund account here. This is how you select, this is the account that you want eSERS to issue a refund. Once you click refund account box, you can hit save, and then going forward, any refunds that's going out to the district will actually go to this account. Also, please note, if you're a district that has contractors, that you work with contractors, if your contractor overpays eSERS and they need a refund, we will also send the contractor's refund to this account too, so you have to be mindful of that. All right, Carlisa, did I miss anything? Or can you think of anything else that we need to show? Are
No,
there?
I think you covered it, and I think I answered a couple uh, different questions in there, but I think we got everything that we need to share with the group. If anyone has any final questions, we're happy to answer.
All right, since I don't see any more chats coming through and no one turn on their mic, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. And I'm gonna give you back some more of your time. If you think of anything you would like, if you have a question that you didn't want to share with the group, you can also send us an email to employerservices@ohsers.org and we'll help you out there.